You know what it is, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy.
You know who it is, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy.
Odie, Maurice, Odie, Maurice.
Maurice, Odie, Maurice, Odie.
Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy.
Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy.
Hey, oh.
Yes, Mo?
Are you ready?
Let's go!
Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy, Black and Snerdy. It's the Black and Snerdy podcast with Odie and Maurice.
I guess one of us should be talking at this point. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Black and Snerdy podcast.
Well,
we are your hosts, Odie and Maurice. I'm Maurice.
I'm Odie.
Yes, and we're back with another one.
It's been
almost a week since we have recorded the last time, and since then I have gotten some new drops. I actually did it. I actually took the time to prepare myself and actually do some pre-production. So this is also very new and very different because I'm the one kicking this off. We have our own little Odie videographer over here taking some photos and video of this content. Let's see how this goes. Is this a live or is just video?
No, but it's going to go on our stories.
Okay, cool.
Do you have anything you want to say to the people on our stories?
Do I have anything I want to say to the people on the stories? Thank you for watching. Oh, really? Okay.
I didn't realize it was going to finish that quickly.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Okay.
Ba-dum-bump.
It's been
Okay. That's going to be my new favorite one.
I know it is.
Yeah.
So, we're here. We're queer. Get used to it. So we're gonna kick it off the way we always kick it off with some quick questions.
It's been
Q&A with O&M.
Close your eyes and pick a card. Any card.
Okay. Whatever fell, that's the card I'm gonna choose.
I picked it up already.
Okay. Well, okay.
All right. Yes. You ask the question while I make a caption.
Okay. I'm gonna ask my question first. If you could receive a bouquet of flowers, what would it be? If you could receive a bouquet of any flowers, what would it be? You know what? I don't really. This is gonna sound basic. I don't really have like a favorite flower or anything like that, or flowers in general. So I would like, and I feel kind of stupid for this. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until relatively recently, like within the last few years, that I found out that roses come in different colors of roses.
Yes, they do.
So if I could, it would be flowers, and I would want them in gold, in purple, and in blue.
You mean you want a yellow rose?
A yellow rose, a gold. Fine, a yellow.
You have to dip them in something to make it gold.
So yeah,
I mean, if you want that, it's fine. I'm just confirming that you want a artificially dipped gold rose.
So there aren't any yellow roses.
There are yellow. That's why I said you want a yellow rose.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Well, time out. Is it that you have to dip it in gold, like? So there aren't yellow roses. Are there yellow roses?
There are yellow roses.
But they're artificial.
No. Yellow roses, 100% real. Gold roses?
Well, that's what I mean when I say gold.
But that's why
yellow.
I was confirming, because gold and yellow are two different colors.
Not in my book.
I mean...
Not in my America. In my America, gold and yellow are the same thing. It's not a yellow shower. It's a golden shower. Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you for that one.
Actually, does that even prove my point? Anyhow.
It does not, but you know what? I'm gonna let you have it regardless.
Yeah. Well, I am going to. What flowers? Because I know you're more of a save petals into a book type of motherfucker. So, what flowers are you getting in your bouquet if you were to receive them?
Well, you know I love flowers.
Yes.
I would say
you dry those motherfuckers out and then you keep them as potpourri.
It's not for potpourri. It's just like memories of the time. I just love to keep them.
Wait, what?
It's
memories of
it's a memory
the time
of,
you got flowers?
of the time I got them, or like what the occasion was, who the person was. Those things are special to me.
Okay.
Well,
Photo. Just saying.
I would choose it's what type of bouquet do I want? Mm-hmm. Okay, now this bouquet is going to be very expensive.
Okay. You can tell me I'm not buying them. Yeah, it's okay. It's a go
Nobody
for it.
asked you to quantify or qualify. Or
You're the one who's quantifying it by saying they're going to be
told
expensive.
To
You could just say the
co-sign
flower. You're the one who's like, oh,
my
this
flowers.
Is going to be the golden petals of
I would
a Nigerian
like
prince.
to have roses. I want pink roses and white roses.
Mm-hmm.
I also want some chrysanthemums.
Mm-hmm.
I also want some hydrangeas, the blue ones, and I want baby's breaths. I want to have baby's breaths are the little tiny puffs of like white flour.
I'll have to Google it because
Not the snow
I've
rags.
heard of baby's breath. I could not for the life of me tell you what they look like.
And then what else would I get?
Baby's breath.
I also would probably want some African violets. I would say an orchid, but I don't think you could put an orchid in a bouquet. I think it's too delicate.
Are you sure these aren't weeds? The baby's breaths.
I don't know, but they're always in flowers, and I like them.
Okay, I guess.
And honestly, I mean, there's a bunch of other flowers, but I don't know the names of all of them.
Why not call them angel's breaths?
I don't know.
Is it because they're really small?
It's because they're very tiny, like a baby's breath.
Like
if it's cold outside and a baby like went, maybe like the little puff is how big.
just seemed a little morose to me. Call them a baby's breaths.
Well, if you call them an angel's breath, that means it would be a dead baby.
Why do they have to be a dead baby? Angels aren't babies.
Some angels are babies.
Yeah, there are more.
We
there
just
are more
watched
angels.
The Sandman. We know some angels are babies.
There are way more angels that are different ages than just. It would be.
Are we sure?
An angel? Yes. First off, why are you getting so fucking dark so quickly?
I'm sorry.
Oh, all angels are dead babies who haven't been baptized. Like
No, they wouldn't be
Odie
angels
said it.
if they were baptized. They would have gone. Technically, if you have not been baptized,
They would go to
you would technically
purgatory.
go to purgatory.
hang
Although
out
there
with
are
all
some
the
thoughts,
deadbeat
differing
dads.
thoughts about whether or not babies can go to hell but then there's original sin. It's a whole thing. But hopefully they would be, cherubs.
Yeah. Oh my God, cherubs.
Cherubs.
Those little fat babies with the arrows.
Those are the angel babies.
Angel babies. It just reminded me that I watched all of King of the Hill not too long ago.
Were they singing
Manger babies?
That sounds like something from Bob's Burgers.
No, it definitely is from King of the Hill. Luann.
Doesn't what's her name in Bob's Burgers? Doesn't the mom have something called Manger Babies?
No,
her little figurines.
Her figurines are just. She calls her figurines babies.
Yes.
My little babies.
All right.
I'm Linda.
Are you ready for my question?
Yes, I am ready for your question.
If you're in excuse me.
If you're in Tampa.
If your entire family had to move to a new country, where would you pick to move to?
Barbados!
It's
Is that technically new? Since your
Yeah,
family's
it'd be
from
new.
there?
It would be new to me because that's a place we haven't lived.
Okay.
So we've just visited, but like we haven't been living there in a long time. Oh shoot! Actually, both of these are. It's been. I need to choose a different route. Sorry, I'm realizing that I replaced.
You were so excited to
Drop
it like it's hot.
I just wanted to make sure that
It's been
is on there. But yeah, I would say Barbados. Because it's just beautiful there. Obviously, right now is like hurricane season, so you gotta watch out now. Oh, why is that not a drop? Because it is.
Oh man, these drops. You and these drops.
Taking too long for it to upload.
Watch out now.
Ah, see? Told you.
Okay. So your final answer is Barbados.
Mm-hmm.
For me, am I taking out any possible geopolitical issues?
No, you have to take it as it is. Why? You wanted to go to I don't want to say it actually. Now that I think
Where
about it.
were you gonna say?
I was gonna say fucking the one that's a war right now.
That's a lot of places.
Okay, the one that's the Russia is war right now.
Ukraine?
Yeah.
What? In what?
You're always talking about like anytime
what
I have ever heard you say,
universe?
"Oh, I want to travel to Europe. I want to go to all these cold
What
places and be
universe
bored,
do you think
and I want to fucking."
I would ever want to
You would-
move to the Ukraine?
Because you're always talking about them.
To visit, sure. But you will think that my black ass
Okay,
wants to be sitting
so
around
what
in the cold
So what
ass
geopolitical
Ukraine?
place were you thinking of? Where
I don't
it's like,
know.
I want to remove the
South America,
the government's
Africa.
interference.
There's plenty of places in this world where the geopolitics are shite. But, there's many. Okay, let me think. If I'm going to pick a place,
Warts and all.
warts and all. Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to say it's a toss-up between Brazil, specifically Bahia or Salvador in general, or Ghana.
Okay, why those two places?
Well, I've been to Brazil before.
And also, way to not choose one.
I mean, you should have already known that
Of
that
course,
was going to be
if
difficult
if
for me.
if Odie is given a question where it says choose one, she'll weasel her way into choosing 3 or 4 different things. I can't decide. I need to have options for this hypothetical question.
You never know when a hypothetical will become real.
Yeah, and then you only have one place to choose.
Well, I decide between.
Unless you have a twin.
I'm deciding between Brazil and Ghana because Brazil, I've been there and I enjoyed it. Bahia is super beautiful and super black. Has a lot of black history there, and it's great. And Ghana is someplace that I've never been, but I've always wanted to go, and I've heard a lot of great things. Now, they are having a bit of turbulence right now with anti-LGBTQ stuff. But honestly, that's almost every country. Yeah. So there's nowhere that you're going to go where you're going to not have bullshit. And if I'm going to have to deal with bullshit, I think I'd prefer to be warm. I'm doing
just warm bullshit. Just you'd rather make sure that you don't have to wear boots.
Yeah,
And a fucking fur coat.
If
you're gonna be running.
If I'm dealing with,
oh god, if you have to run.
Well, I wouldn't run in any. I'm never running. If there's any sort of situation where there's some sort of
you would just immediately give up.
Yes. That's not a hard concept to follow. So either I'm gonna run and get shot in the ass and die. Or I can just sit in my house and die.
Or just stand there.
At least, I'll just stand here and just shoot me. I'm not going around. Actually, you know what? The only reason I would run was so that they would shoot me. Because the off chance of me staying there.
Because you don't want to see it, right?
I don't want to see it, but I also don't want to risk the chance where I don't run and then they take me captive as some sort of sex slave or just slave in general. We've discussed this. I am not built for any kind of life that is hard labor, hard experiences. That's just not me. I'm not built for that. So I need to be getting out of that situation as quickly as possible. And sometimes the quickest way out is death.
All right. Well,
so hopefully none of my...
Starting this podcast off on very morose fucking things.
Not trying to.
Morbid and macabre. Morose, morbid, and macabre.
Okay, final question.
Yes.
Who's the greatest coach ever?
Oh, so I'm not a sports person. You know what? I'm gonna say my dad. My dad is a really good, cause it's his job. He's like a trainer, a sales coach at his job, and he's passed down a lot of really good life advice to me. As a matter of fact, the one he always brings up is, I'll keep this quick. Me, my sister, and him were in a church. I forget if it was like Easter or something like that. And we were given $6 to put in the basket, the basket that comes around.
Collection plate.
Yeah, the collection plate, right? And he was like, mind you, he told both of us, he was just just, I'm going to give you $6. You could choose which one to put in the thing, right?
Collection.
But just be mindful, like what you do in this world, you get back tenfold or fivefold in the next one. Mm-hmm. So I put the $1 bill in there. My sister put the $5 bill. And then later on, he gave my sister whatever 5 times 5 is, and he gave me 5 times 1, which was $5. So it's just 5. And I'm just like, first off, she's much old. She's 6 years older than me. She could clearly read context clues to be like, okay, I clearly this is some sort of life lesson. Me, I'm just like, I like money. Like, you gave me the bigger valued money, and you told me that I could keep the bigger valued money and give away the less valued money. So I gave away the less valued money, and then I got less money back because I didn't invest in. I'm sorry that I didn't learn the lesson in. All this to say, it was a great lesson in hindsight. It's a smart lesson, and I'm gonna teach my children that.
So you think that that giving money, being generous,
it definitely opened my. It was the first indication that I was just a little greedy
miser.
Yeah. And I think that's, you know what, it did teach me about generosity. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It taught me a valuable lesson about investing in one's community. Mm-hmm. Now, whether or not I keep those lessons to heart and apply them in my everyday life is not for me to say. Mm-hmm. But it is something that I recognize was an important lesson that my father tried to impart into me. So I can see it from an objective point of view how awesome that was.
I think that was a good lesson.
Yes.
Teaching you things you could keep now throughout your life, and sometimes you got to learn those lessons through actively being in them.
Yeah.
Let's see. The greatest coach is Jesus. I'm just kidding.
Okay. I for a second I thought you were about to spell jail, and I was just about to say, like, what is this about?
I'm an abolitionist.
I know.
No, let's see.
Take a shot.
My
They're already drunk 18 minutes into this because I got
you
new
said
drops
a hell of times.
a bunch of times.
It's been.
If you've not been drinking on the drops, you're not playing the game.
Oh
properly.
no! First off, have we ever established that they need to drink and take a shot anytime I push
No, it's
a
not
drop?
that you push the drop. It's when you say, like, I'm gonna put the drop.
I'm gonna
It's like when you're talking about
get
the
more
drop.
drops or something. When I talk about the drops.
That's when they're supposed to.
Okay, yeah. So
Clarifying the rules.
Everybody is blackout right now because we done said drops like a million times. Anyhow, you were saying
the
about
greatest
your thing.
coach. I also am not a
coach of all.
I am not a sports person.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
I did
you
not
tumble.
I did tumble.
Yeah.
I'll tumble for you. So
No.
I want to say one of my favorite coaches in my life was my band coach, Miss Hennessy. Peggy
Ooh.
Hennessy. Margaret Hennessy. Where are you? No one can find you online, and we really all loved you. She was great. She was like, I was in the 6th grade.
Maybe she got married to Mr. Hypnotic.
Oh my God. Shut up.
Wait, that is Incredible Hulks, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
Hypnotic
Henny and Hypnotic.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. I've never had one, but I've heard
You've
many
never
things.
had one?
No, but I've heard many things.
When we go down to homecoming, you gotta have one. You gotta have a Hypnotic and Henny.
All right.
It turns green.
I'll get my
and it's delicious.
liver situated.
Oh, you're gonna have to anyway, baby.
Okay, so
Homecoming.
she was really great. She was a great band teacher. She was young and like would talk with us and just felt very much like, we could connect with her. So I really loved her and I appreciated her, and I have not been able to find her on social media. And so yeah, I would say she was one of my best coaches.
Mm-hmm. What did she teach you? If there.
I was learning to play the clarinet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she was the band teacher for that. I played clarinet from 5th grade up until 10th grade.
All right, there you go. Look at that, music coach.
Yeah. So are
Every
you ready?
good boy does fine for the line, and FACE face for the space. And yes, if you were about to ask me if I'm ready for the next segment, I most certainly am. It's time for pop culture.
Pop. Okay. So, usually we start off with RIPs.
Yes.
And today we have to say goodbye, not to people, but to relationships. So, I don't know if y'all remember this, but we were watching Love is Blind. We didn't watch the first one together because you weren't watching Love is Blind.
We went back and retroactively,
but we watched it
all.
and then we watched the second one, and we had lots of favorites, as most of the world did. And unfortunately, this week, 2 of our fan favorites called it quits. Now, the first one I would say was extremely heartbreaking. Ayanna and Jared are black love couple.
The only black couple.
And they broke up.
And the only one that actually made it all the way through and didn't have it. Well, there was a little bit of bullshit, but
she was his second choice.
Yes. Yes.
If you could talk about bullshit. She was his second choice.
Oh, dude legit just cried when the other...
And then walked into the other room to say, all right, I guess I'll marry you.
Yeah.
And then had that weird interaction with her when they came out. But then it seemed like everyone moved past that.
Yeah, they got married in Jordans and
They got married.
Which I want to
do.
Well, not in Jordans. Obviously, it would be Adidas top 10 highs.
But it was super
Classics.
Cute.
Yes, it was.
We were feeling it. Like
she was very beautiful. She's
beautiful. Gorgeous.
She's a beautiful young lady.
They had such a cute dynamic together.
Yeah.
But they posted up on their Instagram. This is only 2 months after their first anniversary. After much thought, we're saddened to share that we have separated and will begin the process of divorcing. While we have love for each other, our lives are going in different directions, and that's okay. Thanks to the Love is Blind family and Netflix, this experience has taught us so much about ourselves, vulnerability, and love. We don't regret a thing. And of course, they both posted that iOS press release.
Yes.
And then, honestly, the second couple to call it quits, I honestly don't really care about. But Danielle and Nick, the ones that we were so cringing about.
Oof, yeah.
From the moment, remember when they were in what was on their honeymoon at, what was it, Hawaii or whatever, or Mexico, and she got mad at him because she was sick, and he went to the couple's party, and she got mad that he went. And it was a whole argument.
I would have went too, because the alternative would have been staying with her. And
she said to go, and it's like, you're sick and pooping. What would you like me to do?
Yeah.
While you're here, I'm going
mention,
and saying hello to the rest of the other couples.
Not to mention, for all I know, it could have been fucking Corona. Why would I want to be stay quarantined inside of this space with you?
Well, they announced.
Knock on wood, still never had it.
Good. I'm very glad. They announced on their public Twitter page, as you start the next chapter of your lives, thank you for opening your hearts to Love is by experience and sharing the journey with all of us. Oh, wait. Oh, this was the Netflix account.
That's fine.
They tweeted that, but either way.
Yeah. Either way.
They're getting a divorce. I wonder if this is just because now their like year contracts of being married are over, and now they're just like, all
Yeah,
right.
just sliding out of it, and it just it sucks that we still only have like one couple that from season 1 that's still like going, and it's boring ass. What's his face?
Who else got married season 1?
Season 1?
It was just Cameron. No, there was somebody else got married.
Yeah,
right?
I think it was like didn't. I don't remember.
I don't remember who it
I
was.
really don't. But now all we have is Cameron and Lauren.
Well,
Still the faces of. If we can do it, so can you. Love is blind. Look, we're interracial. Like, all right, okay.
Shake has been very annoyed.
Has been annoyed or annoying?
Annoyed about the show. He's like, this was all basically saying that it was all a ploy, and he hates it. And
He's
hates
still
them.
talking about that.
Yeah.
Like, if
he said it was.
You know what? That's probably because like no one wants to date his ass.
Well, no, actually, he has a relationship with the thin white girl that he's always wanted.
Oh well, that's easy.
They moved in together and they have a podcast. Of course.
What's it called? Shake and Fake.
Shut up. It's called like, I don't know, read between the lines or something silly like that.
Oh my god.
But I will say, I think Shake he did say things that were truthful about the show making people pressured to get married.
Yeah.
But his just behavior
The show
was just
pressured
atrocious.
everybody to be drunk all the time in
those fucking chalices.
chalices, and yeah. So
Well-
I'm sorry to hear that a relationship that's born out of pods didn't stand the test of time. It sucks, but what are you gonna do?
The pods.
Yes, the pods.
Well, R.I.P. to y'all. Relationship.
R.I. Please.
But, I'm looking forward to y'all having new love. Maybe Jarrett and what's her name? Melissa, Melrose, Molly,
It might have been Melissa.
whatever her name is. Martha, whatever your name was. Maybe they'll get together, Okay, so
Oh boy.
who are they looking for?
I don't know who
you
they
could
looking
hear
for.
that literally just
I
like...
don't. That was loud enough that like it'd be funny if we had listened back and nobody heard it, but we heard it. Helicopters.
Yeah, it sounds like it was shaking the apartment.
Helicopters raining on my head. All right, what's up? What's up next?
Okay, so we have a little minor update about Brittany Griner. Remember, we talked about last time she's going to get 9.5 years in the Russian jail. There's still lots of calls to bring her home, etc. So now, infamous basketball star and the informal U.S. diplomat to North Korea and Russia, Dennis Rodman, says he's gotten permission to go to Russia to help that girl. I'm trying to go this week. So who knows what he will do, what he will concoct with King Jong-un and Putin. Because,
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
he does stink. But honestly, like, if he can get her home, honestly, it's like whatever shenanigans.
Despots love him.
They do.
Like all of them are just like still stuck on all things 90s and shit because of the delayed broadcast that's going over to their fucking channel and shit. Like they're still haven't even seen the Seinfeld fucking finale, but it's all good. So we'll see if he can do anything, and it'd be really fucked up.
What?
It'd be fucked up if like it actually worked and he actually did.
You know what? It would be fucked up, but a good fucked up.
It would be a good fuck up, but it'd just be like, damn, no one man should have all this power.
It's
all
just
this
like,
diplomatic power in his red and white hair.
you know what the problem is? If he pulls this off, he's gonna be so freaking insufferable.
Yeah,
And
he's already
that's the
unsufferable.
part. It's like, yeah, he's already the worst. So just imagine what would happen if he literally pulls this off. It'll be great.
He's our Courtney Love.
Oh man.
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's say she is.
Okay, great.
R.I. possible. You don't know. We don't know.
It's really just because I'm laughing because I was about to segue into the next thing. which does have some RIPs in it.
Oh, okay.
A little bit.
Well,
So this is not someone that I really know, but I know you spoke about him last week. Quando Rondo.
Quando Rondo. Yes.
He was in he was a part of a shootout or caught in a shootout this last week, where one person died in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And the videos of him, it's crazy. He saw his friend pulled out of the black Escalade in a body bag, or they pulled a body out of the black Escalade. And he was just like really upset, how okay can you be when you've just been shot by a bunch of bullets or shot at, and then now your friend is dying. So
yeah, known for beefing with King Von and Lil Durk, speaking badly after. I don't want to spread any misinformation or anything like that. It's just that sometimes when you're like, this is what I will say. I will say, like, when you get on and you get money for all of those young rappers who are getting out there and making money through music, like, you gotta get out of the street. Like, as soon as you get like some money and like pocketed that shit and have a savings account and shit like that, get your ass out of the streets. Get as far away as possible. Have security near you, like, at all times. Like, stay away from the fucking... You don't have to live that life no more, man. Like, you don't. Because, I'm not even in the streets. I'm mad civilian, but if I could, the first thing I'm gonna do if I get put on with a bag is get security, just to stand at my door, just because, I don't want anyone anywhere near me with any sort of weapon that could possibly, do harm to me.
Did you hear about that rapper? I think his name is Zoe Dollars. He said he's creating an Uber that has bulletproof vehicles because of this situation like this of rappers being in their cars and people shooting at them.
Yeah. And
it's really sad that's something that would even be thinking about. And because honestly, some of these guys who are rappers, yes, they are in the life. Some of them are just pretending to be in the life. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, if you're a rapper, regardless of what you're actually doing, if you're in the street or not, mm-hmm. if you are known and you have money, that is going to bring a lot of unwanted attention to you. And unfortunately, idiots are going to do things that are idiotic. Just like when I think about the guy who killed Pop Smoke.
Yes.
He was it was nothing actually gang affiliated or anything. It was just that they knew that he had this $5,000 or whatever Rolex.
Mm-hmm. They knew where he was located.
They knew where he was because of all the videos that they're always putting up.
Yeah.
And they went out there, tried to rob him, and then, of course, he unfortunately got shot.
Yeah.
And it's even if whether you're in the life, whether you're not in the life, you're the life adjacent, you have to be able to protect yourself. And I want more of these rappers and just people in general to be able to live their lives fully and make it to, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 plus without having all these traumatic experiences.
Yeah. So, oh boy. I want to say an RIP to Quando Rondo's friend. I know Quando Rondo got shot, so wish him a speedy recovery and just be safe. Do what you can to safen up. Get some safeness going with you. Safe it down.
Yes.
Safe it down, safe it up, safe all around.
Yes. All right. So maybe this is a person you need to be safing yourself around against. But actor Gary Busey, who has been, known in the last few decades as being a bit problematic,
Wait, do we need a thing for this?
Oh, yes.
Warning.
See, is that better?
That is actually the best one you've come up with. Thank you.
I still like the other one though.
No, never again. So he was at the Monster Mania convention this past weekend, and apparently is facing criminal charges after cops claim he made inappropriate contact with people, among other things. So he's getting 4 charges by the Cherry Hill Police Department, 2 counts of criminal sexual contact, 1 count of criminal attempt, criminal sexual contact, and 1 count of harassment. Now, it doesn't say like really much about who he was harassing or what the crimes are except for the actual charges. But it's unfortunate. Like, it's not necessarily surprising because of the fact that he's been in and out of this kind of trouble for years. But I don't know if he's like slid back into drugs and drinking like he was before when he was having all those issues. But I just reiterating, as we have many times on this podcast, leave people alone.
Yeah, leave him alone. Gary Busey, his whole career can I be honest with you? I don't know a single fucking movie that this person has been in, but I know that he's been like in trouble with like harassment and like bad behavior, outbursts. I want to say alcoholism.
Yeah, that was one of
drugs.
those things.
Like he's been all over the fucking place, and it's gotten to the point. It's gotten to the point where like I legitimately cannot name a single Gary Busey. Like, what is he a star of? Is he a movie star? Is he a television star? I know he's something like in the acting world or something, but like I couldn't tell you what he's from. I just know him and I guess even like the old school people who like from the 90s who were like problematic with like drugs and drinking and stuff, like even they like after a while of just like, all right, like let me bounce back, like the Christian Slaters and Robert Downey Jr.'s of the world like are just like, yeah, you know what, those times are behind me, like I've let me rehabilitate and, you know, put my life together and shit.
One of the big movies that I know him from was with Barbra Streisand. He was in A Star Is Born. And he's been in a lot of other movies throughout, like film, TV. He also does like video game voices. So he's definitely like still, I won't say prolific necessarily compared to other stars, but
he
like
might be more notorious.
Notorious now. Yeah, he's more notorious. Like he did have a very long run. Like he was one of those like A-listers, and even though he was never seen as like, you know, the sexy leading man, he was getting good roles. But then I remember in the 90s was when things started sliding and he started having more of the issues with the drugs and drinking and all that. And it seemed as if he was getting better. I hadn't heard anything about him in a while. Yeah. And now we have this coming up. So at the end of the day, I hope that they find out exactly what happened. Whatever accountability that needs to be taken is taken. But it's just like, damn, you're at a freaking fan convention and this comes up, like, that just...
Dude needs to get himself some help.
Yeah. Yes.
And Lord knows he should have the funds to do that, to make that possible.
Well, hopefully so, or his team needs to get together, because no one has the time for all these shenanigans.
Yes, no one does.
Okay, another warning. Because
Warning.
This is even more gross and disgusting. R. Kelly, as you know, has been in prison and facing multiple charges of coercing young people into sex. And it's now come out that his goddaughter, who was 14 years old when they began having sex, they have some videotapes and they were going to be showing that to the court. which honestly is so like I really feel for all those people who have to be on the jury,
the
because,
lawyers, the people who are in like the gallery, like who have to watch this and shit. Like
I feel bad for her.
It's graphic.
Like this is just, it's like she talks about of the time that they were together, of like he was an authority figure and she thought he loved her, and then like it just obviously ballooned from there. But like her having to relive this again is just really disgusting. And I hope that whatever needs to happen with him, that he never leaves jail again.
Mm-hmm.
I want that to happen. And it's like, these are the people that really, it's like, what can we, as much as I don't want people to be in prison, in what way can we create a restorative justice for people like R. Kelly or Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby? Like people who are not just, I've made a mistake and I'm trying to turn my life around and do something different. People who legitimately are like sexual predators out here. Like that to me is really scary. And I don't know if I will ever be able to figure out a place for them to go except under the jail, because it's too much. But that was it. That's all of the like crazy things that have happened at the beginning of the week. So we can go into some more normal, regular, non-dark content. Kicking it off with HBO Max.
Oh boy, I hate this.
So HBO Max and Discovery Plus are joining services together that will launch here in the States in mid-2023. It seems a bit odd for me because why? It's just like it says, it seems like a weird pairing. But Warner Brothers and Discovery's HBO Max said they are removing 36 movies and TV series from the platform, which is weird. But an HBO spokesman said that as we work towards bringing our content catalogs under one platform, we will be making changes to the content offering available on both HBO Max and Discovery Plus. This will include the removal of some content from both platforms. And it's like basically like a cost-cutting thing, trying to get more family-friendly content. And they said that they wanted to declutter basically the streams.
Which is insane because HBO Max, first off, HBO Max's UX design is a lot better than a lot of other fucking platforms.
Yeah. Except for that you can't, the fast forward and starting from the beginning. I don't like that part. You can't do that.
I mean, you could restart it before you. They have the restart button before you like click into it. But yeah, it is the fast forward. Look, it's not the perfect functionality. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. But the fact that like a lot of the shows that they've removed, Aquaman, like shows, the animated series. I'm a big fan of cartoons and animated series, and I love creator like driven series. And a lot of those, Aquaman, King of Atlantis, Close Enough, Tig and Seek, Infinity Train.
Oh, Infinity Train, they're taking that off too?
Yeah, Mau Mau, Heroes of Pure Heart. Like, a lot of these shows were created, like, for streaming and don't have actual physical copies of their shows and stuff. They were never released on DVD or Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So now all of that shit is just gone. Like the only way to actually see it now is if you pirate it. And of course, like if you pirating like is frowned upon because like it doesn't go back to the creators, like the creators can't benefit from it. But now the pirating is the only way that you can see a lot of these shows because there's no other format for us to view them. And it's unfortunate. These creators, these artists, creators, these writers, these like cartoonists, they work so hard to create like so many of these projects, and then just for some fucking corporation to like snap their fingers and have them deleted, and you can't find them anywhere. It's extremely disheartening. You know, it makes it's upsetting to anybody who wants to create anything. To know that like a corporation can just get rid of your shit for tax purposes. You know,
this was one of those things where I was saying why I want to start buying actual physical copies of like CDs and DVDs and things, because I remember reading a few years ago about like there were some complaints on Apple Music and some other streaming services because if there's ever an issue or contracts change and they take that stuff off, even if you purchase it, it's no longer yours. It's only contingent to them being in that contract. Right. And I'm like, on one hand, it's so great that we could have, 500 shows downloaded on our computers or on our phones. But if it's not actually yours, how good is that?
Exactly.
So I think we'll definitely have to start thinking about that. Like I've been debating buying the vinyl for Renaissance and the digital one. One, because I think that it's just like a beautiful album and I would like that. But more so just like, what happens if there are some changes and at any point she says, you know what, I want to take this off and I would like to have it. So I'm annoyed with you because I like a lot of those shows.
Okay,
and I've been starting them. And it's annoying to start all these shows and they're really good. And then, you don't get like close enough. That's not something I started until recently because you were watching it, but I think it's very funny. Yes. I like the concept, like
the humor.
It's the animation's fun. Like it's a very, even though they're having fun, it's still like cerebral.
Yes.
The Infinity Train. I've only seen a few episodes of that, but I like the animation and the storyline, etc.
Did we ever watch Mau Mau? Heroes of Pure. That's actually one of my favorite series. In fact, a couple weeks ago when we were talking about in the Q&A section of what series I would want to be stuck on an island with. I was going to say Mau Mau Heroes of Pure Heart because of like the first season had like 52 episodes. And I was hoping that like if it ever got like because it was renewed for a second season, but then it got canceled quietly without like actually confirming it or whatever like that. But it's a really good show. So is Infinity Train, but now I can't even share these shows with you because they're gone.
So wait, but they've taken them off already?
Yeah, they're already gone.
Damn, I was gonna say we should just watch it before it's pulled off.
I tried earlier this week to watch. When I found out about it, I was gonna watch. No, I was watching Mau Mau from the very beginning, and then I woke up and it was just like, "Yep, the thing that you're watching is no longer available." And I tried searching for it. It's gone. Infinity Train is gone. The only reason why I'm watching OKKO is because that is available on Hulu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's because it was available on HBO Max too. But
that
yeah,
sucks.
Yes, it does. It's unfortunate. Support the creators.
Support them. Pay them money. Okay, so there's been a bit of some musical uproars happening this last week. So Diddy said, well, there's two things that happened with Diddy. One, he said that hip hop is dead.
He didn't say. He said R&B.
I'm sorry, not hip hop. He said R&B. That he said that R&B is dead. Or he said who killed R&B on Twitter. And then
Chris Brown with these 36 fucking song albums.
Chris Brown was not happy about that, but he did a versus, not a versus. Sorry, he did a Zoom call with Mary J. Blige, and she was like, "Nah, it's not dead." And so she, what'd she say? She said, "You can't kill something that's in our DNA. It's going to keep transitioning from generation to generation to generation to generation." They was trying to kill it, which is, I mean, there are plenty of R&B artists, Jasmine Sullivan, Ari Lennox, Brent Faiyaz. I mean, there's so many of them that I feel like are creating good. Oh, what did I say? Faiyaz?
Faiyaz.
I always
Brent
mispronounce
Faiyaz?
it. I think it's Faiyaz.
Yeah.
That
He was just in rap shit.
That's and I was trying to remember how to say his name, but I just could only hear her boyfriend.
Okay, yeah.
Shenanigans. So I'm I feel like R&B definitely is not dead. And also, Diddy, if it is partially dead, it's because you helped kill it because you kept bringing out great artists on your label, giving them 1.5 good albums, and then dropping them. Perhaps if you were cultivating them.
112 had a few albums, didn't they?
Yeah, but then after a certain point, remember when you could tell when they started falling off because he wasn't putting like the time and effort, and maybe there were some things in the background, but it was weird. Someone was talking about he left them outside in a blizzard one time, which I would not be surprised about.
He left who outside?
112. Allegedly, he left them outside in a blizzard. So who knows? But another thing that's going to be happening with Diddy is he and Jermaine Dupri, JD, are going to be having a versus. Okay.
Who do you have in this? Well, it's not like a versus. It's like a hit.
Hit.
Yeah, it's a hit for hit sort of battle.
So
it's not gonna be officially sanctioned by the versus people.
Well, yes, because they will not be one because we haven't talked about this yet, but Timberland and Swizz Beatz are actually in a legal battle with Triller, who bought the rights to Versus because they say they haven't been paid, which is not the only people who haven't been paid by Versus. A lot of black content creators are also
by Versus or Triller?
Sorry, Triller.
Yes.
Well, I guess Triller. But a lot of black content creators were pursued by Triller to come on their app versus TikTok, and are currently like trying to sue them for losing like what they're saying is like $1 million or whatever. Yeah. So they're not gonna be. They're gonna have the verses in Atlanta, they're gonna have the fake verses. The battles in Atlanta, which is cute. I mean, a bad boy, so deaf. For hit, I'm totally here for that. Both of them have so many songs. That means we could get some Jagged Edge. Yes. We're gonna get 112.
We're gonna get some Mariah Carey
and
Mary J. Blige.
Like, I mean, honestly, and I want Mariah to show up. I want Mary J. Blige to show up. Like, that to me could really be like, remember how we loved the Lox versus when we loved the Lox. And like how and Dipset, because it was just like, it was a lot of just the people there, the energy, and it was like, this feels like such a moment for hip hop. I feel like this could be a moment as well.
Holy shit! I did not know that Janelle Monáe was on Bad Boy.
She is?
Yeah, she is. I'm looking up their current roster.
So what's your name?
Janelle Monáe, Machine Gun Kelly, French Montana. Ooh,
what is Janelle Monáe's?
Bow Wow?
Yeah, well, wait.
Management deal only. Management deal.
Bow Wow's on So Def?
I thought he was on So Def.
I thought he was too.
Well, it looks like he's only managed by Bad Boy. He's not like putting out albums under Bad Boy.
So how does that work?
I'm not sure. Hold on. Let me look up So Def. Hold on.
It says in 2008, The Pitch, a Kansas City newspaper, said that Janelle Monáe has signed to the label. Wow. And then she has her Cyber Soul. Okay. Well, that's great. I'm good for her. But I mean, the only reason she's been out here as much as she has, because she has her own, like, she's been making it work. Like, I've never seen Diddy promoting anything that Janelle Monáe has ever done. And I love Janelle Monáe. I have not seen him promote a book, a movie, a TV show, an Android, anything. I've never seen him promote anything with, Wonderland.
I'm sorry, but I have to go with Diddy on this one. Like, Diddy has the Notorious B.I.G., Craig Mack, Faith Evans, Total, 112, Mace, Mario Winans? Here's Mario Winans?
Yeah, because remember, I don't want to know.
Oh, you know what? I was confusing him with Wayne Wonder.
Oh,
because they both have like I don't want to know, like, no letting go, no holding back. Did you know that song just went gold?
Just now?
It just went gold.
That's surprising.
I heard that like 2 days ago, and I was just like, that is insane.
That's very surprising. Well, you know what? Good for you, Wayne Wonder.
Carl Thomas, Shine, Dream,
No, I would say that at least
the band.
like JD has a lot of artists that we love. And I want to say that if he just does the hits, he definitely can align with what Diddy has.
Crisscross, Escape.
Oh, Criss Cross will make you jump.
Bow Wow.
I mean, oh man, I think that this is gonna be a good one. I'm really excited for this one. I feel like we need to have a watch party. However they're gonna do it, wherever they're gonna. And you want to know what? This is a cautionary.
He has Bone Crusher.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I ain't never scared.
I ain't never scared. 3LW?
Well, they're not gonna come out. Are they gonna let the dark skin girl sing?
Oh, well, okay. Wow.
With the promises.
Anthony Hamilton? I didn't know Anthony Hamilton was on So.
I didn't, but it makes sense.
So.
The Hamiltons.
Yeah.
This is a cautionary tale for everybody. Don't try to scale things too quickly and just doing stuff for the money. Because when we were having our intimate Instagram live videos and people were at their homes enjoying the verses, this was great. Then all of a sudden y'all decided you need to have it sponsored by Ciroc, being in these venues, being in the studios, which was fine in the studios. But then you had to move it over to being in a fucking
live
performers, super spreader things. COVID is in the building. God bless. And now here we are. We are now not even going to get the verses because now you're in a bad, shady deal. If y'all would have just let us have our continued fun at home or it was chill, we wouldn't be at this place.
Well, I actually kind of like the performances.
I do like them.
The live performances.
I do, but I just feel like we were having such a good, fun time when it was at home, and it was definitely very intimate. And then it just kind of went into become a spectacle.
And until fucking Nelly had his internet issues.
Oh, yeah.
Going up against Ludacris.
We have to one day do some sort of like Twitch rewatch of all the verses.
All the verses, yeah.
Because at a certain point, like Shaka Khan, that one was really like...
That was a little hard to watch.
That one was difficult to watch because I really felt very bad for her. And she's a legend. She's an icon. Yeah. Like, I mean, Stephanie... Well, she was with Anita Baker, right? Or Stephanie Mills?
It was Stephanie Mills, not Anita Baker.
Stephanie Mills was a class act. She did exactly what you should be doing in that situation.
Sister.
But it just, some of them were really difficult to watch. Like, remember the one with Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat, and Keith Sweat kept fat shaming him and talking about, oh, you want a drink or something like that. And it was like, this is uncomfortable.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, they're of an older generation where
they're mean.
I'm not giving them a
The
pass.
older generation is mean,
yes,
and they always try to say that we're just so sensitive. No. Y'all act
I'm not
like
saying
assholes.
that we're sensitive. I'm not saying we're sensitive. I'm saying they are assholes for sure.
You act
their
like
generation
assholes,
grew up being assholes,
and you don't like when people call you out on it for behaving poorly.
Yeah.
But we do need to. I feel like if we do that, that'll be a very interesting series of events. Okay, so we're getting down a little bit to the wire.
Yes.
Speaking of one more thing about the verses, did you know Fat Joe is going to be having a stand-up? He's parlaying his commentary to doing stand-up.
I mean,
he's going to be doing a one-man show.
He's pretty funny.
I think he's funny. He's doing a one-man show.
But you know what? No, like, okay, time out. There's a difference between being funny and making jokes. Like, he has a funny personality. I don't know if he himself is funny.
Well,
That's what I mean. Like, there's a difference between being funny and having a funny personality.
We'll
I
see.
think he has a funny personality. Even when he was at Rock the Bells that we were at a few weeks ago, like he had a funny personality.
Yeah, he's definitely he's
a character.
He's a character, like, but he's from New York, so to me, it's like he acts like a New York dude, which I find New York guys very funny in general because of their demeanor. The only downside is that fucking Dave Chappelle is gonna be, he's like hosting it or some bullshit.
Helping him?
Is
like he helping him
hosting it, or he's bringing him out, or he created the show. He's involved in it somehow, which kind of puts a damper on it from me because that means he's gonna be there and be
look how far
taking
he's fallen, man.
fucking jokes. But who knows? And okay, so now to your best friend, Kanye West.
Why is he my best friend? just because I used to be a Kanye West stan.
You love Kanye West. Not now.
Very strong.
You really enjoy his older music.
Oh boy, even I was about to say it. I like his older music. I still a big fan of College Dropout, and actually everybody goes to College Dropout. I'm gonna say My Dark Beautiful Twisted Fantasy.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Was that the one after or before or after he broke up with Amber Rose?
That was the one after Amber Rose. 808s and Heartbreaks was the one that he broke up with his longtime girlfriend.
Yeah. The dark skin one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, your boy, who he has that Gap collaboration.
Yes.
And so he has these hoodies, and he apparently got mad at the Gap because they had them on hangers. And he is making them basically be in large trash bags. They're not they're like those when you go to the Gap or any type of clothing store, and they usually have a big bag where they have clothing for like maybe storage or overcrowding or whatever. Yeah. He basically wants them to be in that. And now the Gap employees have to sift through this bag of disheveled hoodies to pull out your size for you, which to me is the most obnoxious part of this. It's so like these employees don't get paid but so much, and the fact that now you've made their lives harder. It's just like it reminds me of when Rick and Morty mentioned Szechuan sauce, and then McDonald's brought Szechuan sauce back because of like how much in demand it was. Yeah. But then fans of Rick and Morty started going to McDonald's and harassing the fucking people for Szechuan sauce and yelling "Pickle Rick" and being obnoxious and shit like that. It wasn't fucking Rick and Morty's fault. It's just it's literally the fans and the people. So like in this case, it is the creator's fault. It's Kanye's fault who decided that it should be in fucking bags and shit like that. It's just stop making whether you are the consumer or the creator, stop making the lives of these people who work at these fucking companies harder. Yeah. Like knock it off. Like this dude probably makes like fucking 14. I think they make between $15 and $20.
Okay. Oh, thank God.
That's still not enough.
That's still not
to
enough.
To have to dig through a big, huge garbage bag for clothing. And I've worked in a retail store before. It is not fun. Even looking through regular jeans is obnoxious. And allegedly, Kanye says that this design thing he's doing with the Gap is supposed to be an homage to the homeless community, which people were like, well, so you want to put their shit in bags? And so he basically pushed back and said that he is an innovator and that he wants to make fashion egalitarian and not pretentious.
But everything he says is pretentious.
Yes, and he always now does that stupid Kardashian voice that he started doing when they got married, and I hate it. So this is stupid. Kanye, please go do something with yourself because...
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that one.
I thought it was a different job.
All right, so the last thing in our pop culture segment, and actually the one that's I saved the best for last, our 90s heartthrob cartoon icon and someone who made one of the best, was a part of one of the best Disney movies that there was. Tevin Campbell has come out as gay. He was on a podcast talking about it, and he said, I didn't hide anything about me. I didn't try to act a certain way or anything. You just couldn't be gay back then. And he said that he was happy to see Black artists like Lil Nas X and Frank Ocean who are open about their sexuality. He said, I'm glad I get to see this. I'm glad that it's changing. He said there are a lot of kids, especially young Black boys, that need to see representation. They're not being taught to love themselves because of who they are. He talked more about toxic masculinity and the negative impact that has on the Black community and especially Black queer youth. So I am so excited about this.
Me too.
So many of our Black icons in TV, music, film who are queer, part of the LGBTQ family. It's like, even though we may have grown up questioning or speculating, it's like now they're finally coming out. Queen Latifah, Da Brat, now him. So I'm really looking forward to hope him having a resurgence in his career. He still looks the same exact way as he did when he came out.
He's a Pharrell.
He still sounds amazing.
Yes, he does.
And it just, these type of things, they hurt my heart a little bit to know he's such a talented singer. He even was doing some acting and thinking like the amount of people who came out the same time he did, like he should be at the same level as like an Usher.
Yes.
Because they were both out on TV shows with their little, cute little cameos and stuff like that, and like just being very talented and having all this access to it. And then you think that what was it that him being gay did not get him to where he should be as an artist, and as much fame or whatever he should get? I don't know, but I'm hoping that this helps his career. And one thing I wanted to say that I feel like I've been seeing a lot of people commenting on, and they're like, "Oh, we've been new," and I feel like people really need to think about that and unpack that, where it does not matter if you've been new. If you thought somebody was gay or lesbian or trans or any other case may be, if someone comes out to you, the appropriate response is not, I've been knew that.
Yeah, we knew that. Like, it's okay. Like,
it's just like, thank you for telling me, because to me, it's like if I've told people, I have ADHD, and they're like, oh yeah, of course I know, because you've always been flighty or whatever like that.
We had our suspicions,
and that does not to me feel helpful necessarily or supportive.
Yeah, it's not supportive. It essentially, what you're saying is like this: you're taking away the courage that was built up and the bravery of someone like coming to terms with themselves and sharing their truth with you. You're kind of undercutting it, and you're chopping them at the knees for having like the courage to do it, the courage to say who they are.
Yes, kind of. Like I feel like that's something that I feel like more.
If somebody comes out to you, just allow them to come out to you.
Yeah, just say, okay, thank you.
Thank you for sharing your truth with me, and I appreciate it,
And this is not something...
in a more warm way than just my matter of fact. Like, oh,
but this
robotic.
is something that I've been talking to with a lot of my queer friends, and just like them coming out, and someone's like, oh yeah, I knew that. And it's like, okay. And it's like, nobody cares whether you knew or not. I'm telling you this thing. I'm being vulnerable with you. You saying that is not helpful. It doesn't really create any more connection. Like, you've been new. You never said anything. So, like, what's the point of you telling me that now? Mm-hmm. So,
how are they gonna? I don't know about the whole they didn't say
But I
anything.
mean, you didn't.
Like,
It's not like you were saying
not
that
like
you never came to
they're
me.
not gonna come to you and be like, "Hey, Joe, just real quick, are you gay?"
I mean, my mom asked me if I liked boys and girls
Yeah,
when I
but
was
like
5.
your friends aren't gonna do that.
But it could be anyone. It could be your friend saying that. It could be your family saying that. And either way, nobody needs to. You don't need to comment in that way. Just say thank you very much for sharing and being open with me and trusting me with this information. Like, is there anything that you want me to know or talk about for future reference? And then that's it. Move on. But I'm just seeing a lot of comments like that, and I think that people really need to, inspect why they feel the need to tell someone how gay they thought they knew they were this whole time. Because really, at the end of the day, there's not one indicator of gayness. Like, it's not your lisp, it's not your walk, it's not if you have a lilt in your hand or any of these things. So a lot of the things of you saying, "Oh, I knew you were gay," are coming from stereotypes that are possibly not true. Mm-hmm. So it's just food for thought. But I am very proud of you, Tevin Campbell. I know you don't need us to be like telling you how proud we are of you, but I'm very proud of you. You're an amazing artist and singer and performer. And I hope that this creates a door for you to come out. Like, hopefully we'll see you at Pride next year singing and maybe he'll have a new dance album. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully this gives you more fans, more support, and look, you were Powerline, all right? Powerline from a Goofy movie. So you're always going to have my support.
Yes.
You were in the best of the Goofy movies because the
other
sequel,
ones were all right.
No, the other one was fine. Goofy's going to college and it was what it was. But either way, you're an iconic man, and I wish you nothing but infinite happiness.
All right, so I think we could take a little bit of a break and be back with our mental health and grinding and all that other stuff.
All right, we will be back with more of the Black and Snerdy podcast.
Bye.
You're listening to the Black and Snerdy podcast.
We now return to the Black and Snerdy podcast.
Baby, it was uncool to love me and leave me standing here now without a goodbye. And maybe I am the fool you call me, 'cause I'll be here standing waiting to hear you say to me, I'm ready.
I'm ready
to love you.
to love
Forever. Hey, love now. Come love me forevermore. I'm ready.
I'm ready
to love you.
to love
Forever.
forever.
Hey, love now. Come love me forevermore. Oh, sometimes when I'm alone, I feel sad. I know you'll leave me once again and take my pride, and maybe I am the fool you call me, 'cause I'll be here standing waiting to hear you say to me, I'm ready
I'm ready
to love you
to love
forever.
forever.
Hey, love now. Come love me forevermore. I'm ready
I'm ready
to love you
to love
forever.
forever.
Hey, love now. Come love me forevermore. Oh man, what a good song.
It's so good.
What an amazing song from an amazing artist. And it just makes me happy and fills me with joy.
This song came out October 26, 1993.
Man.
And the fact that at 4 years old, to hear this song and be just completely bowled over,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was a testament to the music.
Yes, man. And that's why I know R&B will never die, because that is some quintessential R&B if I've ever heard it.
Yes, and you want to know what? I want Tevin Campbell to do a remix of that song, or maybe even Can We Talk, with a current R&B artist.
Like a duet?
Maybe a duet, or they've been doing a lot of the samples. Like if they would get him, have him on the video, sample it, figure out to make it new. And I feel like that way it'll be a resurgence with him and the younger generation. And then it'll just give him a path to creating more music.
Yeah. Or, you know what? I thought you were going to say that they should make this a coming out song.
Oh my God, yes. That would be a good, I mean, either that or Can We Talk? Honestly, both of those would be good coming out songs. I'm ready to talk to you about being gay. Can I talk to you about being gay?
Yeah,
either way.
I can see that.
Honestly, we could go back to his whole discography. Who knows how many coming out songs
If we
there
listen to each other's heart, we'll find we're never too far apart. And maybe love is the reason why for the first time ever we're seeing eye to eye. Yo, he's been sending messages throughout his entire discography to stand out above the crowd, even if I got to shout out loud. Yo,
you know what?
Tevin Campbell has been saying it for a long time with his music.
Do you want to know what? I feel like Alien Superstar and that song would do well as a mashup.
Yeah, Alien Superstar.
Yeah, Beyonce.
Okay, fine.
What is your problem?
It's okay.
What issue do you have with Beyonce?
I have absolutely no problem.
What issue do you have with Alien Superstar?
I don't have any problem with Alien Superstar.
Why
I've
are
just
you
been hearing a lot of Beyonce as of late?
You have not been hearing.
Yes, I have. Enough to fuck up my algorithm. Yes, I have. Every time some people go over to fucking do the dishes or hang around in the kitchen, it's just like, reassurance.
Oh God, I need something to do while I'm out there doing things.
It's Janelle Monáe album all over again. Not even Janelle Monáe. It was Jasmine Sullivan's album all over again.
Yes.
I'm just like, yeah, they're great albums. I don't know if I would put them as
wouldn't
number
you want
one
to
most
listen to the
listened
same
album on my fucking year-end wrap-up list.
all the time. Once I like an album, I like it. I want to listen to it all the time.
Wait, did you just say why would you listen to the same album?
I said, why wouldn't you?
Oh, because
when I got something I like, I'm gonna listen to it all the time. It's not very often I get something like that. All right. Are you ready to jump into the mental health section?
Sure as hell am. We are here for our mental health corner. For those who do not know, sorry, I did not prepare this correctly. Here we go. For those of you who are new to the podcast, Odie and myself are mental health connoisseurs and advocates.
Not experts.
We like to keep track with our mental health journeys. And so we're just checking in with each other.
And before we check in with each other, you know how much I like to ask a quick question.
Sure. Mental health question.
All right. What movie always makes you sad or even cry?
Wally.
You cry? We watched a lot of Wally the last time. You didn't cry.
Yeah, I didn't want to cry in front of you.
Since when?
Not at that. I think we're watching it in the morning or something like that. I don't want to start my day off crying. Like, are you kidding me? Even though I have started my day off crying every now and then. No. I would say if it's not Wally, because I just love that love story. And if it just dawned on me what I was about to say. I was about to say if a robot can fall in love, then anybody can. Inside baseball. So, anyhow, I would say, God, I want to say Wall-E. I can't think of any other movies that make me cry every time I watch it, other than Wall-E.
Well, let's listen. That's fine.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, and Coco. Ugh,
Oh yeah.
man. Yeah, just
That's
remember me.
Yeah.
One of my, now anytime one of my friends moves away, or anytime like somebody moves out of New York, all I can think of is the song "Remember Me."
Oh.
Yeah.
For me, a lot of movies make me cry. More movies and TV make me cry more than
Is that true at all?
it is.
Okay.
I majority of the time
Watched so many movies together. I've never seen you cry.
they have general. I mean, movies make me cry, but it has to be something
Like
that's
cry on the inside.
sometimes it's on the inside, but more if you see me have tears, more likely you're gonna see me have tears due to a movie or a TV show. But it still like has to be like a good thing. I would say ones that have made me cry that I won't say every time, but like probably a good amount of times. Inside Out.
Inside Out, yes.
That movie makes me cry so much because it's like I feel like all these like Inside Out and Kanto made me cry. Mm-hmm. And I think that like even what was the one with the Red Panda?
Oh, Seeing Red.
Seeing Red, like those made me cry because I think that one there I'm feeling very connected to the characters and the things that they've gone through and like things that might be dealing with their families or their friends or just like their own self. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, as you know, like putting my feelings into, I've never been great at putting my feelings into words, but I've always been able to see those feelings through TV or music or movies, which is why I can be like sometimes if I'm talking about a character or something that like I really connected with, it's like I connected with them because I've enjoyed the character, but also because I could see myself in them. So yes, those are the ones. And that's my final answer.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So with that being said, since we're still on you, how's your mental health journey this week?
It's been okay. I'm still not in therapy yet. I'm trying to start back up. Mm-hmm. Within like next week, hopefully we'll be able to start up again.
Well, you've got your insurance now.
Yes, finally, thank God.
Will you? Did you see if your therapist takes your insurance?
I have one of them doesn't, but I have to confirm with the other one if they take it.
Okay.
Which would be great.
If both therapists can't take your insurance, are you going to stick with them, or are you going to go to a therapist that takes your insurance?
I'll stick with them, but I have been thinking that I think I can push my regular therapy to 2 times a month.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that I can do that.
I thought you were already doing that.
Yeah, but the only reason I was doing that before was because of money.
Okay.
But I think that now I can push that to 2 times a month and focus more so on like the ADHD stuff with my other therapist, and have that possibly be weekly. So I'm debating that, but it really will depend on what times my therapists have open. And so, otherwise, I mean, I will say I'm still feeling a bit overwhelmed and trying to really get an understanding of this new job because there's just a lot to learn. Like today I had a bit of a kerfuffle with someone. I mean, it did turn out all right in the end, but I was having a very emotional early start of my day. My RSD, the rejection sensitivity disorder, was definitely flailing around a lot today. And I mean, like with RSD, as we've talked about in the past, it's like the feelings you get through a perceived or an actual like critique or something like that. And it's like on a regular average day, the way that my RSD might manifest could be like, oh, like, you know, finding out a friend is going to the movies or lunch with someone and they didn't invite me. Now that type of situation, one, I can work through it even though it could still, in a sense, hurt my feelings. I can think about that in a sense of just because someone didn't invite you to somewhere doesn't mean that they don't want to spend time with you or they don't like you. It just means that they just ask this other person. So like I can go through the motions with that. But like if someone is having like is saying something to me and they're angry at me for something, whether I did something actually wrong or not, and they're angry, like that's where like my RSD will really flare up, because it's like where some people, if somebody comes up to them and is angry with them about something and they know that the thing that the person is angry about is like, it's not something that's like their fault, meaning like it wasn't like a malicious thing, it was just maybe an accident. They can have that talk, move on, and maybe they'll be annoyed if the person was like angry or whatever, but like it's not like really weighing on them. But for me, like that's not how that works, and it takes a lot of like crying and trying to figure that out, like, and trying to regulate my emotions. And also people yelling at me is very triggering for me. Like I said, I'm very sensitive. And just like experiences I've had in the past, I just really like, unless I've done something like actually mean and malicious to a person, being yelled at is like, it feels like I'm being punched in the face. So that was something I had to deal with earlier, and I do feel like it resolved itself. The person apologized. We've moved on, and I'm trying not to like dwell on it or anything like that. So I feel like I'm like trying to use my therapy skills and like, you know, opening up and saying how I'm feeling and not just being all bunched up. But that is something that I'm constantly working on. But I do feel like compared to normal that I'm not feeling the same like stress or like tightness in my chest as usual. So hopefully, as this is indicative of me being able to take care of myself better in these moments and not feel as stressed out in these moments, so that moving forward I don't have to be so afraid of what that uncomfortableness is going to feel like. Okay. Yeah. What were you smiling about?
Nothing. I just had a passing thought.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that was all that I have. What about you?
Well, as I have stated the last few weeks, my saga with my mental health professional is winding down. We have set a target end date, which will be a month from now. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yay!
Just wrapping up. I was given a reassurance that in the future, if ever something comes up, I have her number. I could just say, hey, can we schedule an appointment? We texted each other just to make sure that I had the number saved in my phone and we have each other's number saved in the phone. Yeah, it's that time. I think it's time for me to move on and just start doing things on my own with the tools that I've been given over the past few years. And even though it took me a long time to finally find a black woman to be my therapist, I think I am ready to go without therapy and just live my life, you know? See how things go with the tools that I've been given.
Well, that's good. And I just want to say, you will never be alone because you have loads of people who are ready and willing to support you and work through things with you if you so need and or desire. So you have lots of support. I think this is great. I'm very proud of you for all the work that you've been doing. And I mean, I feel like you use your tools. And when you use your tools a lot. And I think this is a great next step in leveling up on your 33rd year. Or in your 33rd year.
Yes, in my 33rd year.
Was that all you had?
That's everything on my book.
Okay, so I found this thing online that I want to talk to you about. Because apparently people have been getting diagnosed or diagnosing themselves, and when I say people, more specifically women, have been diagnosing themselves on TikTok with ADHD, which, as you know, is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which yours truly does have. And I saw this trending, and I thought it was very interesting that apparently this is becoming a phenomenon, but not interesting that it's becoming a phenomenon, more so interesting that doctors are like warning against this. Because everything that I know about ADHD and that I've studied and written about, etc., is that women are more likely to go undiagnosed and to be diagnosed later in life. I wasn't diagnosed until I was 27. I'm in several ADHD groups, and there are women who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s who are just being diagnosed, and more often than not are being self-diagnosed through things like maybe they've joined a group and they're reading everyone's different things that are happening in their life. They're able to say like, oh, this connects to me, and then moving forward, they talk to their doctor and get a diagnosis. So I'm curious as to like why the doctors are finding this to be negative. One of the doctors, Dr. Sasha Hamdi, a board-certified psychiatrist on TikTok, told Women's Health it's important not to get too entrenched in a diagnosis without speaking or corroborating with a mental health professional, because it takes a trained brain to synthesize all those data points in conjunction with your medical, psychological, and psychiatric presentations in order to arrive at the correct diagnosis.
Yeah.
Which is true. I don't think that what she's saying is false. Yeah. But I do think that there has to be a bit more of, I don't know if the word is leeway, but just a mindfulness at the fact that, like, women who are adults who are trying to get diagnosed, whether with ADHD or autism, is very difficult. It doesn't matter if you could have had a history of all the different impact or way that it might manifest. You can go to the doctor or go to a place and they might be like, no, we're not going to diagnose you, especially for autism, because a lot of places will not diagnose people after childhood, or if you try to get a diagnosis after childhood, you basically have to give them the information of every person you interacted with as a kid before they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, you do have it. So I think that the problem is not that women are self-diagnosing online. It's that we have been just completely kept out, especially if you're a black woman or another woman of color. We've been completely kept out of the medical studies and discussions regarding this mental illness, and so are only coming to these things on our own through looking at social media or what's coming up. And I do think people definitely need to be mindful and careful, because you have some of the, like, as I said, I'm part of a bunch of ADHD groups, and one of the groups was started by this black woman, Renee Brooks, and she has a website called Black Girls Lost Keys. And I swear to God, I see her posts being stolen by especially a lot of white male TikTokers and people like on Twitter. But I see her posts being stolen all the time. And so you do have to be mindful because you never know if you're following someone who's actually not well versed in what's going on with you and they're just regurgitating what they're finding online. So that's definitely something to be weary about. But I think if you find legit people online, you're following them, and they're talking about a certain topic, that if you feel like it resonates with you, just go to your doctor, speak to them, and try to get a diagnosis. But I wouldn't tell people that they should be 100% not looking at social media to get more information about these, just because right now that's a place where a lot of people are even able to find like the barest amount of information on what's going on with them.
Okay. But I mean, like, this has been sort of happening, like, since the advent of the internet. Like, people have been self-diagnosing themselves with WebMD and everything like that. And even you and I have watched Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, where they were straight up, like, there's one episode where straight up just, like, said, hey, whatever you do, don't look up the symptoms, like, before, just let's talk about it, And I do understand that, like, women of color have been, like, shut out of the medical profession field have been shut out of medical, like, studies and stuff before. I would say there's nothing wrong with, like, self-diagnosing so long as you do talk to a mental health professional at some point to corroborate it.
Find a therapist and don't do one of those things where you're just like, you saw one video and now you're like, oh, that's totally me. And you're just telling them all the things you see in a video. If you actually have ADHD, it will not matter what you think that your symptoms are. Mm-hmm. The doctor will be able to tell. I mean, some of these doctors are shitty, and you have to find one that actually has real training in working with different groups of people with ADHD. Because one time I went to try to get medicine, and the stupid ass nurse practitioner gave me a completely wrong diagnosis and was trying to accuse me of being a pillhead. So there are people like that who can make the search for a diagnosis difficult. But when you find a real, actual therapist, you go through all the different things you've been through in your life, the things you might be dealing with at work, et cetera, you would have to be on such a fine tightrope between the regular diagnosis and not having something for them to not believe you. And if you need to get multiple opinions, do that, because you are the only one who knows your body best. And it's something, it could be ADHD, it could be bipolar, it could be some sort of trauma related CPTSD, who knows. But if you find a therapist, they should be able to diagnose you and get you a psychiatrist who can help you get on medicine if that's something that you want to use. But don't give up hope. But also, don't WebMD yourself, because that's not going to help you in the long run either.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's what I wanted to talk about.
All right. Well, that's good. Speaking of talking about stuff and diagnosing ourselves, we have to diagnose ourselves with anger attention disorder because of how annoying the work week and the week in general can be. It's time for us to let those gripes out with Gripe Right Here.
Bringing it! What? We gripe it. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe it. This safe space for us to share. We gripe it. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe it.
Why don't you start us off? What's on your...
What's pissing me off today?
Yeah, what's annoying you? It's getting under your skin.
Well, people piss me off all the time. So it's a mixture of the normal and also the abnormal. I sent you a video.
Yes. Do you want to set this up a little bit?
Yes. So I saw this video earlier today. And it's basically this girl is in by Lake Pontchartrain, and her boyfriend or whoever the guy she's with has thrown her in the water, and she's coming out and she's basically gasping for air and all that, and she's really upset. And I really am hoping that this video is fake and it's not. We find out that it's not real. Because for someone to behave like this, it makes me so angry that I would not be wrong in hexing him. So play the video, and you'll be able to hear for yourself.
Okay, yeah, and here we go.
Come on now. Yeah. Yeah. I got you now. It's just some water. You'll survive. You'll survive.
I spent $1,000 on my head, you fled!
Man, come on now. It's not that bad.
What the you mean it's not that bad? You threw me in a lake!
I mean, you're being a crybaby. You didn't even go that
I
far.
did! If it wasn't for me grabbing on that thing, get the away from me!
I mean, but there's a rope. I would have saved you. There's a rope. I would have saved you. You see the rope right there?
No, get the out my business! And you filming me!
You see that rope right
me
there?
right now, you think that's funny?
No, I would have just stick the rope out and I would just throw it out.
Away from me! I'm not going nowhere with you. I'll find my own way home.
Calm down. It's not that bad.
All right.
You'll be all right.
Oh my God, I did it!
Okay.
You can hear how distressed she was, and you could hear how completely heartless and disgusting he was being, which is why I'm like, I'm hoping that this is fake, and we find out it's just somebody who's trying to get views. But people, one, stop fucking pranking people. That's number one. Because in the second video that came out, I found this one on, oh gosh, what is that website? It's called Black News or something like that. They were the ones who posted it up. And I saw that underneath someone had posted like a part 2.
Mm-hmm.
He baller alert. And he was saying like, oh, you prank me all the time. It was just a prank, blah, 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 blah. Do you know how many times pranks have caused someone to lose their life? There is a woman right now, this black woman is in jail awaiting trial if she hasn't gone through it already because she pushed 2 men off into the water off from, I believe it was I don't remember if they were at a pool or if they were in the open sea, or if I'm conflating 2 instances, but there was definitely one time I remember a woman had pushed this man into the pool and he ended up dying or getting like paralyzed. And this most recent incident, the woman pushed the 2 men in the water and they drowned.
Yeah.
Or at least one of them drowned, one of them was really hurt. Like water, just for him saying, oh, it's just water. We are not fish. There's never a time where it's just water. If you fall, you could be in your own bathtub. And if something happens to you while you're in that bathtub and the water gets over your face and your nose, you are not going to come out from that. So it's never just water. Also, Lake Pontchartrain is I don't know if you've been to New Orleans before.
No.
That's where Lake Pontchartrain is. And it goes into the Gulf. So you can imagine how like waves are on a regular beach. Like these are times 2 or 3 depending on how choppy it is. So to throw somebody in that lake who doesn't have a life vest, you don't have any like equipment to get them out, is just evil and disgusting. And I want this man to be arrested. I want him to be beaten up. In the video, she says she's going to have her cousins whip his ass, and I hope they do. I hope they whip his ass, and I hope that they maybe throw him in some water and see how much just water it is when you're the one floating in there hoping not to freaking drown.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is do not throw anybody or push anybody into some water.
Don't do that. It's fucked up. Leave people alone. If somebody's at the pool and they say, I don't want to get wet, leave them alone. If you're at the beach and someone says, I don't want to get wet, leave them alone. If you're on a lake, any bodies of water, leave people alone because it's not your business.
Yeah, it's because I grew up in a time when, like, as soon as you say, no, I don't want to get in the water, motherfuckers start picking you up to throw you in the water, right? As, like, a fucking joke and stuff. But, like, that also, it's a larger conversation of consent.
Yeah.
So, like, if somebody is saying no, like, not even, in a situation where someone is saying no, they don't want you to do something, or they don't want to do something, just respect their wishes and just don't do that thing.
That's it.
In general, like, across the board, like, whether it be in a intimate setting or whether it be something as simple as, like, getting wet at a pool or in a lake or pond or whatever the body of water is. Like, just don't do it.
Leave people alone. And secondary. Now, this is something that did not happen to me. It happened to somebody that I care about very, very much. But I'm going to say this. If you are talking to somebody and you guys are long distance or whatever the case may be, and you decide that the two of y'all are going to spend time together, the person's going to travel to see you, XYZ. There's no what is the word? There is no obligation for you to have sex with anyone or, like, you know, drop all your plans and only be with them or anything like that. That's literally, like, not an expectation. But if you are traveling, if somebody is traveling to see you, at the barest minimum, you can be cordial, you can be friendly, and you can make sure that while they're in your area, outside of their comfort zone, that they're having a good time. Because somebody that I care about went to go visit someone that they've known for some years, and they get down there and the person's acting all weird and funny. Talking about, like, it's awkward because we haven't seen each other in a while, so I don't know if I want to come out, da-da-da-da. And it's like, you just had this person spend all this time and money to come out there and see you, and you're not even doing the barest of minimum for what? If you don't like them, you don't want to be in a relationship with them, or you don't want to be romantic with them, that's fine. But at the bare minimum, you could be a good friend. And they tried to, like, make up for it at the end, like, right before they left, and they went out to dinner or whatever. But it's like they've just spent 2 or 3 days in their hotel room upset because they're in the middle of West Bumblefuck to see you, and you're acting like they are an orange starburst when you know they're a fucking pink. And I was very upset about this, and I could not do anything to them personally, because I was told not to, obviously. But this person is on, well, they're not, well, will they ever hear this? Who knows? But just so you know,
They're on death watch.
You're on death watch. Okay, you're on notice, because I don't play about my people. The only people who are allowed to bother or annoy the people in my life are me. And
yeah,
so...
And don't do that.
Well, I don't do it on purpose, but if it was going to happen... that's it. And so I'm just saying, if you don't like someone, if you don't want to spend time with them, then before somebody buys a ticket, schedules their days off, does all these extra work, just say, you know what? I think that we should rethink this and let's go back to it another time.
Yeah.
It's the barest minimum. Because why would you want to spend some time? Why would you want somebody coming down all the way to where you are just for you to be like, oh, this is uncomfortable? It didn't have to be uncomfortable if you told them, I don't want you to come. It's very simple. Open up your mouth and communicate. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I got for this week.
Okay. All right. Well, it's my turn. And, okay. So I'm currently, two things are happening at the same time. For one, I am currently like deciding and debating whether or not I am going to get myself a dog. Mm-hmm. And part of that experience of figuring out if I'm going to get myself a dog is I am dog sitting for one of Odie's friends. And as a matter of fact, I am dog sitting for them right now. Little dog who has made an appearance on this podcast before, Cookie.
Cookie!
Yes, who is currently just splayed out on my couch.
She's looking cute.
Minding her own business or doing whatever.
Cookie's a good girl.
I don't know about that. Because I say that because I am reminded how attached dogs can be. Which is not a bad thing. Are you recording this?
Yes, I am.
Why are you recording with my voice?
I'm recording Cookie.
Are you going to send that to the owner?
No, I'm not.
Good, because
Put it on our
I'm about to. Oh,
she's gonna hear this anyway. You're talking about it on the podcast.
Fine. I am realizing how clingy some dogs can be. Like, don't get me wrong. I love dogs. And dogs are great when it comes to displaying affection. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you just want to be by yourself. Mm-hmm. So every now and then I have to trick Cookie into going out of the room so that I can get just 2 minutes of to my goddamn self of just peace and quiet. But unfortunately, Cookie don't want to allow me to have some peace and quiet. Last night, I put her out of the room so that I can go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And she was just barking for hours. Hours. Cookie.
Cue the Muni song. So cue that Muni song.
Yeah.
Hours and hours and hours.
Oh, okay. Well, I do not have that. Just so many hours of just, and I thought she would just not do that after a while.
She has lots of energy.
No, she does, which is strange because she sleeps all day, don't do shit. You know, as if she spent an entire day managing a customer service department, just sleeping away.
Oh my goodness!
That's how I felt all night, just like hearing this barking. And then finally, when I relented, I opened the door, let her come in, sleep on the couch, and then I go into my bedroom. And then nothing. No barking. So I am oscillating between wanting a dog and never having a dog, all because of Cookie.
Can I just tell you, as somebody with a dog, I would not get one.
Well, you have a dog and a cat.
It doesn't matter about whether I have a dog and a cat. Dogs are a lot of work.
Dogs
and
are a
it's
lot of work.
extremely annoying, and you don't like having to leave your house for even the 5 minutes it could take you to go and walk her around the block.
I don't mind walking her around the block. I just because that's a quick walk. Like,
yeah, but
quick walk.
There are dogs who need more than just a quick walk. Even if you get a medium-sized dog, there are plenty of dogs that need like 30 minutes to walk them. You don't like walking for 5 minutes.
That is a nightmare. 30 minutes of being outside. What about in the wintertime?
I mean, now that's a little different. Like in the wintertime.
When it's raining?
When it's raining, Brooklyn will not walk. He'll pee real quick and I bring him back inside. Mm-hmm. And in the wintertime, of course, when it's cold, I may have a jacket for him that he needs because it gets too cold. Because the thing about it is, During the week, I may not always be able to give him a full hour-long walk, which is the best kind of walk in the morning, so he's not like super amped up throughout the day. But the more bored dogs are throughout the day, the more you have to interact with them. You have to play with them. You have to like do a catch or a fetch or whatever, playing with ropes and things like that, so they're not getting bored, so that they're not also then being bored and chewing up your stuff or pooping or something. Like, you have to treat them like they are toddlers, and it is just not fun. And I think that you should continue fostering dogs. Do a foster. Do a dog sit. You spend all the time with dogs until you are at a point where you can hire someone to walk a dog for you when you don't want to have to do it, or when you want to like just have them do it throughout the day, so you can spend your time here or in the winter, because it's a lot of work.
Yes.
And you see how annoying and obnoxious she is?
Yes, she can be obnoxious and she can be annoying.
She's super cute.
She is cute.
She's super cute.
I'll give her that. She's a cute dog.
She's super fun to lay around with. She was taking a nap with me here on the couch earlier.
Yes, she was. She loves laying like at the foot. Like,
she was sleeping on my feet.
yes.
Super cute. But also, you have to think about, all right, if you want to go out for several hours, especially a dog like that's small like this that needs walking.
Vacation.
Yeah, there's so many things, and it's expensive. So, just think about it.
I will think about it.
Continue. Do those foster programs they have. You can bring dogs in here and play with them for a week, 2 weeks, maybe even a month.
Do they pay you?
I don't think so.
No. So much for that. But
I like
yeah.
foster children where they pay you to watch them.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, I will consider. I'll weigh out the pros and cons like really, really hard when it comes to whether or not I will. I'll know by the end of the year. Y'all will know by the end of the year if I end up getting a dog. But we shall see. We shall see.
Are those all the things that are grinding you?
That's everything.
All right, so now it's coming for our favorite time of the show. I thought you were going to just press it.
No, we still got to name the fucking segment.
It's, I was about to say it's the baby merchant. No, it is what brings us happiness this week. What are we finding joy in? What's making us smile?
Baby merchant, tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
All right. Did I go first last time?
Yes, you did.
So you go first. What's bringing you joy this week?
So doing this podcast, of course. Finally settling on a final day with my therapist because that was a load off of my shoulders. It feels a little bit like a breakup, but like I was reassured that this was the right thing to do, so that made me feel good. Damn it. What did I do this week?
Sleep.
Other than sleep, I enjoy sleep. Oh, I got a new video game, Soul Calibur, that I've been playing a lot of, and I got new boom mic stands, which are extremely professional, and I love them. Like, I feel like this is a professional setup now with these things. Like, and you have to admit that they're fantastic too, right?
They are great.
You have not bumped into them. Like, I haven't heard you like jostling or anything like that. They have been the exact equidistance to your face that needs to remain, and they are comfortable. So, and I've really been getting back into my appreciation of video games. I'm playing Soul Calibur 6. and Tekken 7. I also just got I whipped out my Nintendo DS Lite, and I just got a thing where there's 208 video games on a cartridge. So
Wow.
So I'm gonna be going through and playing all of the Pokemon games that are there. There's Pokemon White, Black, White 2, Black 2, Gold, Silver. What else?
Sound like the name of porns.
Yes.
Black 1, Black 2.
Yes. Yes, they do.
So is it only
Well, isn't no now?
what?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what the white version of Blacked is, and
White out?
it's actually Vixen.
You got me.
So I've just been getting reacquainted with my appreciation for gaming and video gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah, and that's what's making me happy. How about you? What's making you happy this week?
Well, number one is obviously this podcast.
Yes.
Every time we get to record and chat with each other is always great. What else? Settling into my job has been really good. I'm feeling, like I'm getting the tools and the keys, and talking to everybody has been really good. So I'm still looking forward to, being here and learning more. And that's exciting. Let's see. I bought my ticket to go out of the state for work next month. So that's exciting. Oh, the number one thing that made me happy this week is I got paid.
Oh my goodness!
Now, I should have put this in the what makes me mad this week, because the U.S. government has completely sucker punched me with the amount of taxes. And honestly, as a Black and Native person, I shouldn't have to pay taxes for anything on this godforsaken country. And I really need someone to pay somebody to figure out how they're going to get me all my money back.
Quick question: how long since the last time you got paid?
May.
I was hoping you would say
It's been
It's been several months.
okay. All right. That's all I wanted to know.
And then today we saw Nope.
Yes, we did.
Yesterday I went to a cute little gathering at our friend Mel's cat sit, which was cool. And I got to try a new bakery with Wanjiko this morning, which was dope.
Shout out to Wanjiko and Mel.
So yeah, so far it was a pretty good week. No complaints here. And next week's my baby's baby shower, so I'm very excited about that.
Yo, baby's baby shower.
Yep.
All right, that's fantastic. That's good to hear. Can I share? Oh, also my bad. Getting these new drops has been enjoyable as well.
Yes. And what were you gonna ask if you could share?
One last drop.
Yes. What could we possibly use that for?
Shots fired! God. You throwing shade at people? Guess what? Shots fired. Obviously, I wasn't gonna play this during
the Rondo situation.
Yeah,
it would have been.
with Quanto Rondo, that would have been tasteless.
That.
Yeah.
That's where you draw the line.
Yes.
Oh,
Playing with these drops is
it's fun.
It is fun. It's I love it. That's why I love doing this podcast with you, for no other reason than because I get to do these drops.
I wanna fuck the ones I envy.
Can we close out? Are you done? Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
You nasty boy, you nasty. You nasty boy.
When are you gonna have time to use all of these drops?
At some point, look, man, they come up. You never know. You never know when some of them come up.
When is that one going to come
That
up?
one came up a few weeks ago, and it was perfect.
All right. Okay. Hey, listen. I know you'll find a way to imbue the podcast with all of your many, many favorite things.
Whack.
Okay, all right, that's enough. That's enough. I'm done. All right, that's everything. If that's everything, then that's everything.
Perfect.
So let us get on out of here. Thank y'all all for listening to another episode of the Black and Snerdy podcast. We'll be back next week, and remember, Snerds of a feather flock together.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snerdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snerdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's that's OD, THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Snerdy podcast, where Snerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet. Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.